This is Dr. Andrew Jones. In this edition of Veterinary Secrets, I'm going to show you how to naturally treat your dog or cat's excessive shedding at home. If your house is looking a bit like a fur ball, then you really should be watching this video. And in part I'm making it because I've got hair all over my house and I've been spurred by my wife who had said, can you do something about the cat and the dog who are shedding? Hi Gus. Excessive shedding. So if you've got a dog or cat who all of a sudden is excessively losing much more hair than normal, there very well may be an underlying medical disorder. Some of the conditions that can cause that, most common would be allergies, more common in our dogs. Be it allergies to food, be it environmental allergies, also known as atopy, be it an allergic reaction to parasites, such as flea allergy dermatitis, which you can see in our dogs and our cats. No question that's going to cause increased amounts of hair loss. Some of the organ dysfunctions, liver disease, kidney disease can lead to hair loss. Some of the underlying endocrine dysfunctions, such as hypothyroidism, for instance, hyperthyroidism, diabetes, those can all result as increased hair loss. There can be fungal infections, such as ringworm in our pets. It can obviously show up as excessive hair loss. Pregnancy, lactation, that can result in increased hair loss. And then some of the conventional veterinary medications. Probably most common I would think of is prednisone. The first point I want to make in terms of treating shedding, decreasing the shedding, is that if there is an underlying medical problem, get that diagnosed and get that treated. The second point is regularly brushing your pet, which seems like the obvious, but it needs to be told and reinforced again and again. And even I need to hear it because I honestly haven't been faithful about regularly brushing my pets. Hence, there's fur. I'm sipping on this green tea and I just spit out some cat fur. So clearly that's a signal to me I need to be more regularly brushing my pets. So a couple different things. Here's a basic pet brush. It's got those really, I think you can see it here. It's got these fine, thin wires. Lewis really likes it. He's associated, and trying to make it a positive experience for your dog or your cat. So for instance, with Lewis, we would brush him, he'll actually seek us out, and I pair that with a treat. So he's okay with it. He's actually quite happy being brushed. I would just start at his head, start out at his neck, working your way down. Meanwhile, my daughter will go in there and she'll spend a good hour, get so much hair. And just knowing all that stuff that comes out of Lewis, all that fur would end up on, quite possibly, most of it in our house. So the more brushing, especially now that it's turning into spring, it's getting warmer out, his body is saying, let's get rid of all that. This winter coat, oh my God, he needs to be brushed. So look at that. God, that's just for my 30 seconds. I got that much fur out of Lewis. Interesting, you can do stuff with this if you so choose to. I once worked at a clinic in northern British Columbia called Smithers, and someone there was making dog sweaters. So, she was taking that leftover fur and turning it into dog wool and knitting sweaters. So it's doesn't necessarily just have to make it into your green tea. Just do the similar thing with your cat. You can use the same brush. You can get obviously smaller ones. Gussie's okay with it. She also sees as a little bit of extra attention. So as you can see, she's okay with getting a little brush. It's okay, Gussie. You're not doing it too hard to make it uncomfortable. But you can definitely get all that fine fur out. So obviously brushing as often as you're comfortable doing, minimum once a week, obviously more often during this, especially the spring and the fall. The other option, you can actually get special brushes, and this is one specifically to help deal with that undercoat. So it's got a much heavier blade on the top. And I think you can see it here, a bit more of a single blade here. But one pass gets so much fur so much that coat of Lewis is out. And I'll just show you how well it works. So I just went in to try it. Wow. So, look at that. I mean, 10 seconds, that brought that out. The third point is diet. More specifically, looking at your dog and your cat's diet and ensuring that they have a good, high quality, highly digestible protein as part of their food. Personally, I think it's even more important to vary their diet, not just sticking with the kibble, looking at some home foods. And I try to make a point of making sure that Lewis gets some additional quality protein, not just in the form of kibble. For last night, we had chicken and vegetables and potatoes. That's what Lewis had. So just making sure, we know that hair is primarily protein. If you're looking at the hair itself and analyzing the hair shaft. So you want to have better quality hair coat to ensure that it's not going to die as quick and fall out so fast. Make sure your dog and your cat are on a high quality digestible protein. I mean, so you'd be looking at one of the more holistic natural diets, looking at protein as the first ingredient. The fourth point is supplementing with additional essential fatty acids. Some of the concerns with fish oil is the issue around mercury and the mercury levels in the fish that are caught and the oil, then that mercury that's concentrating in the oil itself. So a less expensive, and I think is a safer option, is looking at flax oil. Some of the studies are finding it to be as effective as fish oil for decreasing allergic symptoms. But also too, we know that those additional essential fatty acids are key to providing a healthy coat and potentially decreasing the amount of hair that is lost. And we're looking at a dose of about, so we want to getting close to the dose of 1,000 milligrams per 10 pounds of body weight daily. So for a dog like Lewis here, he would need 2 to 2.5 tablespoons a day of flax oil. Step 5 is regular bathing. So this is my bathroom. Welcome to my bathroom. This is our bathtub. I haven't brought Lewis in here or our cat Gussie because either of them, especially Lewis, are not fond of the bath. So I brought my sample dog. This was one of my first stuffed animals, Fido. A pretend dog to pretend shampoo. When we're dealing with our pets, especially this time of year where there's all this excessive shedding, just the act of bathing is going to loosen more of that dead hair up, so the hair that's about to fall out, and you're going to wash more of that away. Along to, I encourage you to use an oatmeal-based, fairly soothing, pH balanced shampoo that's not going to dry the skin out excessively. Then follow that up with some type of conditioner. My sixth point is ensuring that there are additional vitamins, minerals, nutrients that make up hair. You could look at adding additional ones of those into your pet's diet. In particular, people look at adding in, when they're starting to deal with excessive hair loss, increased B vitamins. They look at adding in the antioxidant vitamins that seem to help with increased blood flow to make sure you've got a healthy hair, such as vitamin E, vitamin C. Some of the minerals that play a role in hair growth and healthy coat, zinc, calcium, magnesium. And one really simple way to do it, and one of the remedies that I saw a pet owner suggest, is adding in molasses. So this is just molasses here, cooking molasses. I think you guys can see it there, pretty inexpensive. Get it at any grocery store. And the big thing about molasses is that it's very high in the B vitamins, and it's also very high in iron. And those are two key nutrients that make up a healthy hair coat. And the last point I want to suggest, point number 7, is making sure that you have additional humidity. So anytime it's especially dry, such as the winter months, and you're drying out your own skin, you're drying out your pet skin, you're making it much more likely to that hair, you're going to have more hair falling out. You're going to have increased amounts of shedding. So a real easy way, obviously the suggestion for people, is drink more water. So you obviously offer as much water as possible to your dogs and your cats. You can look at adding in additional moisture to your dog's kibble. You should be looking at having more canned food in your cat's diet period. That's going to give them additional moisture. So that's one big point. The other way is looking at having a humidifier. So I'm just going to turn the camera over here. I think you guys can see it. Thank you for watching this edition of Veterinary Secrets on how to treat your dog and cat shedding at home. What I want you to do now is first two things. If you've yet to do so, click that link in the box above. That'll subscribe you to my channel. Then after that, you can go ahead and click that link in the box below. When you sign up for my newsletter, I can send you my free books and videos on how to heal your dogs and cats at home with my top natural remedies.